3 points, a clean sheet, and a cracking first ever A-Leagues goal for young Bailey Brandtman. A lot of positives to take out of this weekend here for our A-League men's team. A 1-0 win away to Perth Glory in round 4. And after 4 games, 2 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, I think we'll take it. I think we will take it after again losing our head coach Mark Jackson just a week out from the season. Not many people were expecting Mariners to do much this season, but at the time of, well, at least this recording, after this game wrapped up, Mariners sitting second on the ladder will probably drop down a little bit with other games still yet to be played this weekend. But it's a really exciting start to this season. It's a really promising start to this season. And look, it is a result against a struggling Perth Glory side who are going through a moment of transition themselves with after David Zrilich, their head coach, departed just a week or so ago. So they are certainly going through a tough time. But this was an important result away from home. It's always a tough trip, regardless, coming up against Perth Glory. And to get the 3 points and the clean sheet as well, I think that was almost the thing that I celebrated as much as the win itself, was the clean sheet. I think it meant a lot to the players, to the defenders who have been playing well this season, despite still, the fact that we have conceded a handful of goals so far this season. But just stoked with the win, man, and stoked to see us, to give ourselves this platform. And on going into the international break as well, I think the mood will be high amongst this playing group as well. Would love your thoughts. Jump in the comments section. Let me know what you made of this game, this 1-0 win for the Mariners. Let's take a look at the lineup that was deployed for the Central Coast. There was one big change, and it came in the forward position. Ryan Edmondson, who had started the first 3 A-League men's games, he dropped to the bench. Nico Duarte, who did start last week, but started out in a wide position, he started this game through the middle. It meant that Bailey Brandtman returned to the bench after starting the first 2 games, and then he was on the bench last week. Aside from that, solid, consistent lineup. A couple things to talk about off the bat as well. Interesting to see that James Donachie still not included in the actual matchday squad. He has been included in the team sheets for the last few weeks now, like the ins and outs that are announced on a Thursday evening. He's been included in those, but he's not in the matchday squad. Shumba Mutakoi has been that backup centre back on the bench. So whether it's just simply that Donachie is just not getting selected, or maybe there's still an injury concern there. According to the team sheets, he's been included. He's not listed as an injured player. So an interesting one there, that is for sure. But it's great to see that this group of players continuing to gel together. Brad Tapp and Nathan Paul at the back, I thought, were excellent in this game. Stormru and Moragas working so hard in those fullback positions. I thought both those guys were very, very solid. And Andrew Redmayne, he's proving to be, I think, not only our best signing so far this season. We didn't make many signings heading into this season, but he's proving to be one of the best signings in the A-League, just for the value that he's providing for the Mariners. And it's nothing against Dylan Perech-Cullen, who probably would be doing a solid job if he was starting, but Andrew Redmayne has earned us points this season, numerous points. Just about every single game, he's come up with some big, big saves, and he was needed in this game. He was needed in this game because we should acknowledge that it wasn't like an amazing performance from the Mariners. Obviously, we'll certainly take the result, but we were on the back foot, especially for that first half, really struggling to get going. We're really pinned back in our own half, and the likes of Steele and McCalmont, they were working hard in midfield, but we were struggling to transition it to those attacking players and break into Perth Glory's half. We did start to work our way into it towards the end of that first half, but it was the second half where we did start to get Nyor, DiPizio, Brandtman, and Duarte into more dangerous positions, those attacking players, and especially Brandtman and Nyor in those wide areas. We saw, again, them swap wings. We saw it last week against Wellington, and it's something that Warren Moon is clearly implementing here. If it's not quite working, he's happy to get those guys to swap wings. And we saw it work to fantastic effect, because Bailey Brandtman, who we know has a fantastic left boot, cutting in on that off that right wing onto his left foot and spearing it past Glory keeper Matt Sutton to score his first ever A-League goal. He did score in the Asian Champions League Elite for memory last season, but this is his first A-League goal, Bailey Brandtman, and he's a guy who's just worked so hard now for to really break into the senior team over the last couple of years, and this season feels like he really is stepping up and becoming one of these regular starting players now for this Mariners team. And if he's scoring goals like this, man, he'll certainly maintain his spot in the squad. What a fantastic strike from Bailey Brandtman. Watching it on TV at home, man, I was celebrating that goal. An absolute cracker from Bailey Brandtman, and especially for like a young player like him to see him take that opportunity and to score a goal like that, it is huge. And to see the celebrations after, and obviously what it meant to him as well, and to the rest of the squad to see Bailey Brandtman finally get his first A-League goal. Fantastic there. So it really was a strong defensive performance from there on out as well. I mean, Mariners really having to hold on for a long time there because we scored relatively early on in that second half and had to do a lot of defending. And that's where the likes of Paul and Tapp and Redmayne and goals really showed their quality, man. There was some fantastic defensive interventions from Nathan Paul especially, who was probably my player of the match. He was superb with some of the defensive interventions that he was making, clearances, tackles. And we should acknowledge as well, I mean, coming up against one of the best strikers in the A-League in Adam Taggart, a guy who has Socceroos experience, who's, won the Golden Boot in this competition previously. Adam Taggart for Perth Glory. He's always a dangerous striker. And our relatively young centre-back pairing here, Brad Tapp and Nathan Paul, did a fantastic job of keeping him quiet in this game. And that's the thing. It's this clean sheet that will hopefully give the side even more confidence now. And I think we've deserved it. Again, like I said, even though we've conceded a few goals over these first few rounds, defensively, I've been really happy with what we've seen. There's been obviously some errors here and there, but Nathan Paul, Brad Tapp, it's feeling like a really, really solid centre-back combination. And look, earlier on in the video, we spoke about James Donachie and even obviously Trent Sainsbury when he's set to come back from injury. What happens then for the back line? I'm almost happy with Tappy and Paul continuing as our two centre-backs. Look, maybe, again, we have that conversation of maybe Tapp pushing into midfield and whether you'd bring in Donachie or Sainsbury, but it's good to know that we have that depth now, and when those guys come back and they're fit to play, we've got great options there and depth in those defensive positions. But look, the most important thing from this game, I think, is to get that point. The 3 points, I should say, to get that goal, which earned us the 3 points and puts us in a really good position now after these first 4 games. And we've seen some sides a little bit underwhelming so far across the early competition, and to see the Mariners sitting in a really, really solid position here on the ladder so early on in the campaign, it's promising signs after a lot of people, look, Mariners fans included, myself included, I think we didn't have the highest expectations of this season. And again, nothing against this group of players, man. I believe in this young squad, and we do have some experienced players here, obviously with Rue and Redmayne in there, but it was a young squad. It felt like maybe it was going to be another season of sort of transition and continuing to develop these young players, but they are banding together so well at the moment. They are staying strong. They are working hard for each other, and getting a result like this on the road is absolutely huge for this side. So, heading into the international break, got a couple of weeks off, and then Western Sydney Wanderers away. Huge game coming up for the Mariners. Wanderers have had a bit of a shaky start to the season. 2 draws, 2 losses. They are still searching for their first win. So, maybe a bit of a pressure already on Western Sydney Wanderers early on this season. Another chance for Mariners to get a big 3 points on the road. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Stay subscribed for more Mariners content. My name's Lockie. See you in the next one.